man bear pig could be in this area.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Thursday stream where the market rally continues. Another gap up. Futures, Dow Jones filled the gap, but the S&P and NASDAQ did not. This Mag 7 really good day. So we'll look at that. Hello. It's good to see y'all. So here we are on Bitcoin 4 hour. We have a second test now. We tested one time yesterday, 91.9, and now we got a second test today. Seems like Wall Street propped us up because we were selling off last night, and then this morning got to a low point of 91,697, and the bids came in for 12 hours straight. We've got less than an hour to go till the daily close. It's kind of pretty typical stuff here. And shift it to the daily. 4 hour is going to stay visible above you at all times. So here's your daily. I tweeted about this, posted to people in the Discord. This year, resilience here. We have 48 hours now of buyers reconfirming what was once support resistance as support again. So that's pretty nice, right? Sellers tried to break it and they couldn't. Too much demand. And so hopefully we're just pausing before another markup, and there's just not much in the way of $99,300. I know that sounds crazy right now. It sounds impossible. It sounds nuts after just such a fast run from 84K to a peak of 94.7. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to $10,000 candle in a few days, less than a week. But man, it's just the level that we're above that is really notable. And that's the only thing we're going to be watching or paying attention to is 91.5 all the way to 92.8. All right. Now, as we discussed yesterday, any day above that is a wonderful day where your senses are more powerful. You can see better. The shades of green on trees is brighter. It's more vibrant. Things taste better. You get it. So just another day of that. So I'm a happy man. All right. Bitcoin dominance pretty flat after making over 4-year highs just a couple days ago. Still very strong. So the market collectively is performing equally to Bitcoin in the past 2 days, whereas before Bitcoin had certainly been outperforming the whole crypto market. That's what we got going on here. So not going to be surprised eventually we see higher levels here as we took out that February 3rd peak, that wick high, that flash crash. It was wild. So it's good to see some alts recovering. Your bigger ones were pretty flat today with Bitcoin, but then there's some, like Algo and Cardano recaptured a key level. Atom's very interesting. That's Cosmos coin. CRV has been really good because that M shape. Can't believe it's being respected so well. That Synapse coin, went nuts on the new daily candle last night. We saw it, but it's still sustaining those gains. I mean, it's a 50%. Yeah, XLM up almost 5%. And that one's just like a specimen wedge. So we got some activity going on. Most cryptos have looked like crap. They still don't really look good. They're just rallying off their lowest low. But then there are a few where if you keep scanning, you see them. They're like, hey, this is kind of nice here. Whether it's a structure or it's some local price action to key levels, they're out there. It's not an equally made market right now. Okay, Bitcoin futures real quick, as that gap has not yet filled, even at the low point of the day, still unfilled. Man, that kind of sucks, right? Wouldn't you have wished that this morning at the lows we'd have gone a little bit lower just to fill this CME futures gap, 91,880, and then we would have back tested that key support as support again, but they just didn't let it happen. So we got a new daily candle. I mean, you know what happened on CME futures on the close? It was the highest daily candle close we received officially since February 20th here. A higher daily candle close than yesterday's candle close and the day before, of course. So that's pretty cool. Just freaking gaps fill. It looms so close to us. You just can't be surprised if we draw down just to do that minimum. So lame, so annoying. All right, that's where we're at, unfilled gap. But man, you are just you're above a threshold where the only thing that makes sense above you eventually is $100,000. So I'm kind of down with that. All right. Since we started out on Bitcoin, let's go further into crypto. Ethereum, nearing that supply line. Okay, it's just your daily updates, your top cryptos. Supply line still in the downtrend, right? No local structures that are really great, but you broke back above 1728, which I think is really good. I mean, anything above 1728, given enough time, equals $2,000 just about. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility of Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know, like, right? Am I crazy here? Like, just, okay, here it is. The sellers try once. And then they tried twice, right? They failed to break the level once and then twice locally here. I mean, that's confirmation. What more did they really need? What did the sellers need to relent and let the buyers take back over because they recaptured the level and reconfirmed it now once, twice? So if, like, say, what we are witnessing on Bitcoin is a confirmation low back test of the key level, and we were going to see Bitcoin run higher to, I mean, it makes sense. Anything above 93K, 92.8 is, 99.3 based on history. If that were to happen, $2,000 is a no-brainer. Like, you know this is going to break the supply line. And there's no question about it if Bitcoin was to actually run here. All right? Don't have to have amazing structures, really. You don't have to have amazing trade setup opportunities for assets to rally or to dump. So you're just using common sense here, or critical thinking. Now, below 91,560, you know, you're going way back down, probably to 1420 again. But all right. XR. Well, nope, you know what? Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. It's fun to monitor that just to see if it's made. Man, past 2 days were great, but you're down 1.46% today. Long-term downtrend. I don't see how this changes. Bitcoin will probably continue to outperform Ethereum no matter what happens. Bitcoin dumps. This is going to go lower. Bitcoin pumps. This is probably eventually going to go lower. We'd be looking for some bottoming structure. I mean, last time we bottomed out after just... It was a beautiful... I mean, a textbook bullish Gartley. It just was, man. I don't make the rules. Scott Carney made the rules, or whatever. H.M. Gartley, 1920s, made the rules. 618 on B point, lower high on C, 786 on D. Nice confluence of the 1414 bib extension. That was a 786 and 1414. I'll tell you, man, those two levels confluent is magic. It just is. You know why, right? You remember, you can go back to the streams, but if you remember, there was a cipher here. And I didn't even call it a cipher. I called it an informal M shape. But if you remember, some of y'all will, right here, 786 with a 1414 fib extension, confluent. It's magic, man. And it was cool because there was a key inflection zone being back tested too, and that manifested into what? All-time freaking highs. But then, wait a second, 786 1414. Then we just go back to the legendary Gartley of all Gartleys that took us from 3,343 all the way to a high point of nearly $14,000. Let's see here. Oh, wait a second. Remember 786, 1414 confluence. It's magic. It's a phenomenon. Just don't forget 786, 1414 confluence on your M shapes. Anyway, I don't know. Sometimes we just go that way. All right, let's go to Solana. Somehow it's up today, 0.02%. And yeah, I mean, hit a low point of 144.77. So man, what a recovery. A recovery on Solana. Almost 5%, 4.43%. Looks like it's just going to close indecision today with just some more upside. I mean, they are testing this one time at Bandcamp, you know, July 2024 last year. 154 was a reversal area, but most of the time you're running to 160, 163 up here, a more well-defined zone. So that would be your upside potential about, you know, before you see some turbulence, 5 to 7% upside on Solana. I mean, you could. Like, there's 35 minutes. It's ticking up and down, ticking to green and red every minute. I mean, there's a chance you could be having your highest daily candle close since March 2nd. That was yesterday and the day before. Yeah, very strong after some just positive price action correlation to key levels. That's all you had, right? Just identifying bullish engulfing candles at supports. Same thing. Just reiteration of the analysis we've been doing every day. One daily candle at a time. Discord notification was delayed. I don't know how that works. You just don't trust the market wall. Everyone running away from the USD as you worry the price we pumped to sell out to get out of their dollars before the big dump. I mean, of course, it could very well be a buyer-inducing rally on the equities market, and you know, and so anything risk-on is going to dump eventually. There are unfilled gaps below us now. Yeah, those gaps are going to fill eventually. But that's what makes this market, and I've tried to articulate it. It is a very casino-y market. I mean, taking big long positions or big short positions is really tough due to the nature of just the gap ups and gap downs we've been having every day now, and like you can just see how sensitive the market is to any sort of news or tweets. Times to make money, times not to lose money. It's phenomenal. It was really cool to see Bitcoin break out of a dragon. They back tested the dragon, went sideways for a week, and then as soon as Jesus was resurrected, Bitcoin was too. Yeah, but not coming off of any higher lows. Bitcoin's most recent discernible event still is your lowest low. Index funds, I mean, you could start trying to paint the picture that maybe they're putting in higher lows locally, one low, second, and you got Microsoft and Nvidia that have springback tests actually, unironically, unbelievably. So XRP down 0.88%, still unable to break that neckline of potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. Neckline is 223. They were gonna break it yesterday, and they decided, no, we'll fake out. And today, rolled over to 212, but back to around 220. Yeah, very interesting here. Supply line breaking, but man, you got to break just a local structure's confirmation line. You're right up against it, like 3 cents off. So any favorable price action on Bitcoin above this level, if we catch follow through, right, we're receiving data, and albeit on less significant time scales on Bitcoin, this is the data we have at hand, which is, hey man, they're confirming an extremely key level as support, not once, but twice. So if that actually is reliable, which we don't know, we're paying real close attention to it every day, every night, man. Like that's kind of what my job is, right? And pinging y'all at night, in the morning, whenever, about these technical developments, when you get breaks of supply lines, breaks of supports, resistances, confirmations, right? We got that confirmation. So now it's like, if it is real, the next thing that we're going to see on Bitcoin, if it's real, right? You have to understand, we don't know exactly. We're not fortune tellers. This is us trying to decipher the psychology of buyers and sellers, okay? So the second time should be confirmation. So if the TA is respected in this regard, all right, on this 4-hour, not very significant time scale, if TA is respected, we go higher next. We just do. Okay, and it's just these two arrows here are giving us the reason why we would go higher next. That entire idea becomes completely invalid when the sellers start taking the price below 91,560 convincingly. Okay, that's when the idea is invalid. So that's where people probably have some stop losses. Probably a lot of stop losses below there. But that's kind of what's going on, all right? The buyers are defending the levels. They're not letting it fall below these levels. 4-hour golden cross. Whoa, man. Holy crap. Bitcoin 93,722. We're nearing the highs of the day in power hour. It's pretty cool, man. All right, so I'm just saying, right, in regards to XRP, if Bitcoin's going to respect the TA on the 4-hour, then XRP is going to break out. And the breakout our consequences could be way higher. And you're targeting pretty much 260, 258 if Bitcoin plays out. Yep, LAC is amazing, dude. I know. Well, it's like, find me a chart that is literally as perfect as Lithium Americas Corporation via the Harmonic framework. I'll wait, because you're not going to find it. You're just not. It's just sometimes how it is. And that might be implying something about lithium. The demand on lithium's going to explode or something. Normally when these harmonic patterns develop over a long period of time and they start rallying, a news-driven catalyst comes out and pumps these things like crazy, and it was like, oh, okay, there's a huge demand for lithium or something. right? A lithium plant collapsed, and now there's a huge need, and there's a lack of supply of it. And then the huge rally off the harmonic, just like ACHR, just like QBTS, right? Always a narrative to make the patterns play out. So I guess we'll look at that. Carl, stop talking about yourself, man. Thank you. Or yeah, Randolph. I mean, dude. Again, it's just stuff that has to happen, right? It's like we covet these things, and then sometimes we're fortunate enough that it actually happens, and it's like, man, trade setup probably should have been posted yesterday, but all right, posted it today. Yeah, definitely one that's super special. I hope it ends up meaning something. Okay, hold on, let me got some Pellegrinos, you know, man. I'll see Pellegrino. Cheers to everyone. Yeah, I mean, like, cautiously optimistic here with 4-hour price action on Bitcoin. I just hope it's real, right? All we can do is hope. All we can do is identify confirmation lows and go with God and say, hey, man, that's good. That's not bad. Look, man, just for real. Like, for instance, I mean, you already know. It's just the same thing where, wow, wait a second. Up thrusted through the level. And then the perfect bearish back test. It's just so perfect. And then look at the follow-through you got after the bearish back test. This is the equal and opposite price action we are receiving at the same exact inflection zone. Bitcoin's about to be at highs of day, chat. Let's freaking go, man. We've been waiting all day for this. Maybe they're finally going to catch up to some of these Mag 7s. Hey, I'm down when Bitcoin decouples from equities when they sell off and recouples with them when equities rally. I'm all for that. And here we are, chat. We are at the highs of the day officially, okay? We have not seen $94,000 today. We have not seen it. Our highs of the day just achieved moments ago, $93,999. That's it. So I'll tell you, dude, that's amazing strength. I want to see a crazy body on this at this point. Okay, let us. And also, someone, you could start. I think there's just not enough data, but like someone could come in and be like, hey, bro, anchor point 1 and 2 now, and here's anchor point 3 on the top side. You only need 3 anchor points for a channel flag, and you could just say, all right, here is your potential little flag. Is it my bull flag? That would be nice. But if it is, that means we haven't broken out of this very small, insignificant, possibly unreliable structure. So you would take it to like 94.3 if, it was going to be tested. Just interesting. Great. We're impulsing, man. Off a breakout. Breakout and back test a breakout. Love it. All right, we're over 94K. We're at the highs of the day, chat. We got a pump, power hour, price action, Bitcoin, live stream. If you're enjoying the highs of the day on Bitcoin, hit the like button, that bullet. So thanks so much for being here. All right, markets have been really rough lately. They're still very unpredictable. And a lot of, really smart people are still saying we're going way lower. And we could be. No doubt we could be going lower. Yeah, that's crazy price action. You gotta be kidding me, dude. It's like, there's just, Chad, you gotta know. Like, it's just, hey, 99.3, we could just have a crazy night. Asia running this thing. I'm telling you, 48 hours testing level of support. What are the consequences of this gonna be? I'm really hoping 99.3. Don't see why not. I guess like someone could come in and be like, look, dude, the Trump pump is now resistance, 95,000. Okay, fine. 95,000. Guess we'll see what it's made of when we get there. We didn't get 95K yesterday. We got to $94,686. All right. BNB down 0.59%. You know, you kind of tweezer topped yesterday. You're kind of catching fall through, but again, you know, if Bitcoin's gonna actually do it, which we don't know if it's actually gonna do it, then you think BNB is gonna go test 621, 638 again. You just, right? Critical thinking here. Or just test 621 and fails again. I don't know. But like, hey, they put in a higher low. You just need a higher high and a higher low again. All of a sudden you can start talking about trend reversals. But yeah, it's really important you take out the previous discernible swing high, which is 638. It just happens to be up against a very, very real inflection point, an old April 2021 all-time high. So, okay, those are your bigger cryptos. We can look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin, very important right now. This is actually a really big deal. Whoa, 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 whoa. There could be tremendous upside on Dogecoin now, chat. Look, below 18 cents, 17.5 cents, hands off. It's not good down here. There's just, it could be at 10, 11 cents, right? But now, you're talking about lower low double bottom stuff. I mean, this is some really good price action. Dogecoin has been down all day, and now it's at the highs of the day. You're actually 23 minutes till it's confirmed, highest daily candle close since March 27th. So we're going on 1 month highs, but it's more about 18 cents being recaptured. This is not a joke. Understand, it's not a joke. Candle close. Look at the spring back test before going nuclear, or at least going way higher to 34 cents. You have history here, very real history. Resistance reversals. Okay, you get it? To recapture this, there could be serious consequences, and I would just think that 21 cents, 22 cents. Extend this. Okay, heart line of the downtrend. This is, if that happens, this would just be an exhaustion rally, right? You're coming off a lower low. There's probably, someone could identify divergence. Yeah, of course. Look, RSI, bullish divergence. You make a low on price, you make a lower low on price, higher level on the RSI. Would have been better, oversold. But nevertheless, the exhaustion could manifest into a relief rally. And it'll probably end up being short-lived, not as high as 24 cents before we pull back. And maybe if they pull back, we back test this 17, 18 cent level as support again. And if we do that, then all of a sudden you could say, hey, momentum is shifting back into the hands of the buyers. And then inverse head and shoulders behavior, accumulation signatures. If you get local tests here, that's like actionable for a long. And that could take you all the way, use your brain here, take you all the way to, oh. And then that's going to be a big deal. Can they break the supply line that goes back from December 8th, January 18th? Big deal. So obviously that might not happen, but that is exactly what you want to happen if you want an edge. You want a greater than 50% chance of a particular outcome. So again, if they're breaking this, you could have a quick run higher, but there's, you know, what's the most recent event? Like your lowest low, your lowest high, your lowest low, your lowest high, you know, you're downtrending. But you got what? This channel here conceptualizes a trend. At the high points is considered overbought. The bottom would be oversold. So they tested the oversold threshold a couple times, and as you were testing that oversold threshold, exhaustion on the oscillators became apparent. And from there, you just can't be surprised if you get a nicer rally here. We'll see though, okay? Is Caspa BS? Caspa, you know, was bad, broke a support. It dumped tremendously and hit a support resistance, and bids came in massively off of it, and it's bottomed, and now it's up against a big key level on Caspa. You break that level, some good things could happen, but it was nice. Y'all hear about MEX? MEX Exchange, they're offering 500 time leverage positions now. Yeah, have fun with that. Let us get liquidated in seconds from our entry, because that's, I imagine, what would happen. Yeah, the degens are returning. All right, so let's look. I don't know. Let's go to the. Let's switch gears. Let's cover these markets. We'll come back. So really big candle today. That's serious. Up 2%. They recaptured 540, and now it's like, I mean, you have unfilled gaps. So it's hard to trust. They gap it down. Bad tweet. Back to 527. But now you're just starting to think, do we have something going on where you made a low and now you're putting in a higher low? And if that's the case, wow, well, if that's the case, do we have a supply line? 1 and 2 here. Oh boy, there it is, chat. We got ourselves a supply line. The old all-time high, anchor point 1, anchor point 2 in late March, okay? Another test, pretty much April 2nd. And here we are up against it. So it will be interesting to see if buyers are able to take out this level that we just closed right at it. Dang, man. That is tough. It is cool that they recaptured 524, a swing low from September last year. To break that, 565, 200 moving average, 573. Yep. It could be a higher low bullish dragon real quick. It's hard to trust in the market, man. It's very volatile. One of the hardest markets I can remember since at least COVID. At some point, COVID turned into, just money printer go burr. But good to see some rallies here. It's just good for everyone. Dow Jones, big deal here. Bullish engulfing candle confirmed. The futures, they filled the gap. So they have not filled, unfortunately, have not filled the gap at 39.2. There's no question. It's unfilled. But man, it's a big deal to see Dow Jones recapturing 39.8. Pretty much closing right at overhead resistance from May of last year. Swing low from September. Yeah, you got the same situation like you do on the spider. Could we have ourselves a dragon in the making with one foot, the second foot? It's possible. It's possible. But you're way off the supply line here. As you know, the supply line on the S&P, they closed right at it. So, interesting. This earnings season's on deck. Man, God, the NASDAQ, dude. Microsoft and Nvidia are really doing some stuff today. Or they did the stuff, right? They back tested some springs. That's the highest daily candle close officially on the NASDAQ since April 2nd. So we're going on 1 month highs here, and we probably got a supply line, you know. Gosh dang, man, they broke that supply line today. Woo! Supply line broken, and really, there's just not much here till like $17,900. So you're kind of in a blue sky situation. Unlike the Dow Jones, unlike the S&P, this is kind of a big deal. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's legit till you see the next overhead resistance. There's still like almost 5% upside here. Unfilled gap too at 17,600, just below 17.9. But yeah, you got to think about it. There is an unfilled gap just sitting at 16,300. So powerful stuff. I wonder if it's a higher low bullish dragon going on. Most real quick recovery. Okay, and then the IWM or the Russell 2000 ETF. They didn't engulf because they gapped higher than yesterday's close, but highest daily candle close confirmed since April 2nd. So, man, they hit that 170, and then they tested the resistance as resistance, but then Trump tweets, news developments, and now you're rallying. There's a supply line here, too. I know you haven't broken this one. Well, the angle of descent steepened, right? As you look, it's like this. So they're kind of breaking one supply line, but there's another one that looms way higher. So all right, yeah, I mean, good stuff. I hope it continues. And why do I hope it continues? For the sake of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin. All right, if the NASDAQ, let's just say the NASDAQ was actually, we saw it. It kind of broke a level, and there's like 4.68% upside above it. If we were just going to melt up to that level just to test it as resistance, using your imagination, that is an incredibly conducive environment for Bitcoin to run to 99.3. So that is what I would like to see. But remember, you hit 99.3 and they don't break it. It could be a quick ride back down to 93K again. So we got less than 15 minutes till your daily candle close. If you're enjoying the Across the Market stream, hit that like button, the bell, that sub from the living room. Still a bread stream. I'm gonna get to it. It's kind of a, if you don't know, Snap is, or the app that I use on PC, I had to like backdoor it to make it work on my PC. So it's kind of a headache using those graphics, but you've got my word. I do owe a bread stream, so NVIDIA running after hours. Yeah, man. Good. All these risk on mega cap tech stocks are wonderful for Bitcoin. So let them run. Let them hit that next 16,000 plus resistance and fill the gap on the NASDAQ first, and I'll be happy. All right. So those are your index funds. We can now look at futures if you're so interested. Top left S&P, top right Dow Jones, bottom left NASDAQ, bottom right Russell 2000, 5,500. Again, you saw your highest level since April 2nd, April 3rd on the futures for the S&P. But yeah, all of a sudden it's like lower high here, you roll over, but then look at this, one low and now a second low locally, all of a sudden confirming accumulation and running. And look at this, like they sold it off and they couldn't fill the gap. So we have an unfilled gap here. Dang, man. S&P futures pretty much at their highs now, okay, of the new day. Dow Jones, though, is pretty cool because you officially filled the gap, right? It is officially filled. And what's cool about it is, wow, that bearish back test rolled over to fill the gap only to run and now breaking this key resistance. It's now being regarded as support on the last 4-hour candle. And it's not a joke because I can just show you here. You can just see its validity, its relevance, its significance. Resistance, support, all back last year. It is now flipping to support. So that's nice to see. NASDAQ 100 is also kind of, I mean, this is why NVIDIA's up, right? Or NVIDIA's up and NASDAQ futures are up. NASDAQ futures currently trading at the highest level since April 2nd, right now as I'm speaking to you. Technically gapped up a little bit too at the open about hour and 50 minutes ago. Russ 2000 just above 1924 was good. All right, there you go, futures. Quad screen on cryptos. Solana top left, Ethereum top right, XRP bottom left, Binance coin bottom right. All looking okay. Shoot, man. Solana going for its highest 4-hour candle close since March 3rd. You kidding me, man? That's Bitcoin territory. Bitcoin's getting close to the same thing. But then Ethereum isn't. XRP isn't. Binance coin is not. There's something about Solana. Well, we saw that Solana to Ethereum chart. I mean, before anything was moving up. I mean, Solana was kind of rallying while Ethereum was, gosh, dang it. What happened? Uh-oh. I lost y'all for a second. Are we okay? Let me know. Let me know, dude. Gosh, dang. Let me know. OBS disconnected, it said, but it reconnected. So just making sure we're all right here. Okay. No interruption, nice. Wow, what happened? That's crazy. So Solana has been showing some pretty nice underlying strength for a couple weeks now, a few weeks, compared to the other mega cap cryptos. I'm trying to be vocal about it, right? You know. So I'll just show you a couple of these Mag 7s with, remember, we looked at them. They, like Nvidia, for instance. Remember this. Like 97 bucks, dude. That's huge. Like, that's the old all-time high. If you don't hold that, your target's 76 effing dollars. They violated it. Trump tweet, piercing line reversal. And then the pullback only, look, so they violated the key level. The sellers did. But then immediately the buyers recaptured the level. Then they reconfirmed the level that was violated validity as support now. So they gapped it up. Unfilled gap still. It's going to loom there. It's going to be there. $98, $99, $99. But you had your highest daily close since April 15th, and there's an unfilled gap above you at 112. That's your target. It's up after hours, 1.24% as well. So cool. But yeah, a lot of work to be done. But hey, man, a higher low, that's your first piece of data that is relieving, where it's been lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lowest low, lowest high, higher low. Wow. Your first higher low, really, since January 13th, if you're going to be technical here. It was only a lower high after. But yeah, you hadn't made a lower high in about a quarter now, in 3 months plus. So that is, it's cool to see a rally off that. It was doomed. You were doomed below there. So, and then Microsoft was the one that also made a spring back test of its own. Oh no, I guess it wasn't Microsoft. Well, they tested 344, but you had a sell off, and the buyers just front ran that key level. So it wasn't technically a spring back test. But now you're up against 388. You just got to wonder, are we dealing with a dragon of some sort? I don't think you have a good supply line. How do you anchor from here? If you do that, they violated it, they rebroke it. I'm not sure. Do you do it like this? Might be arbitrary anchoring. You're up against it there. I don't think we can actually play it like that. It's not very well defined. So yeah, rejoice. Maybe a confirmation low getting put in, a higher low. Nice. Up 3.45%. Dang, man. Got a Google. Google was the spring back test. Okay. There it is. That was your lowest high. Your higher low. Your first higher low on Google. Officially, really, since February 27th. You had some higher lows coming in for all-time highs. This is the spring back test. Sorry, I got Microsoft and Google confused. Look, man, it's an old all-time high from September of 2021. It's just there. I don't make it up. It's just, it exists. It's been a support in March. Pretty close, pretty much a support in September. And that level was violated by the sellers, recaptured by the buyers immediately, and then reconfirmed by the buyers as support. And look at you now. So it's like, I wonder if it's like, are we putting in a higher low? Is momentum shifting somewhat? Highest daily candle close since April 14th. Meh. And you got 160 on deck. You got to break that. Then 168. Then you break 168. The pastures get larger and greener. So got to wonder. This is a new piece of data that's coming in. You can't. How do you trust it? Because like, hey, all right, you have one candle, and then it could just be gapping down below it. So yeah, we're just trying to follow this development, and it's better than nothing, man. Better than a lower low and a lower high. Give me a higher high now. Met up 2.48%. All right, so it was random. Like, they weren't really, I guess there's a swing high, and it's being regarded as support for the first time. Yeah, swing low from March. I guess it's there. Defended that level once and twice. Definitely was diverging. You had some Class B bullish divergence. A low, the exact same low. higher levels in the RSI. All right, out of the bearish control zone at least. That's good. But more importantly, on Meta is your 531 resistance support. It's always been resistance. So they bullish engulfing today, unfilled gap below you. But man, to see a bullish engulfing candle is amazing. And Meta is up over 4% after hours, currently trading at $554.75 right here. I don't know what happened because they don't report earnings until April 30th. But rejoice. It's up, it's pretty cool to see that it is up over 4% after hours, only after this bullish engulfing candle and the official recapturing of the key level from April of last year. That's nice. So, all right, maybe we're out of the woods, but that's just going to be another unfilled gap that's going to eventually fill. Amazon, real nice. Unfilled gaps below you, gapped up, and then you just had a big rally, and you're just starting to get closer and closer to some key levels. I mean, you got to break this 188 level, old all-time highs from 2021 and 2022. But you're wondering, hey, are we dragoning? We got a dragon situation, supply line. Oh, look at that. Wow. 1 and 2 here. And yesterday they tested it as resistance. Let me just get rid of this channel, multi-year channel. You can see it more clearly. You got maybe dragon stuff, but you do have a supply line broken, it seems like, maybe as of today. But you got to remember there's overhead resistance. 188. It's got to be. You are trading above 188 right now. After hours, it's up 1.8%. The futures are kind of doing things. I'm not sure if there was any news event or tweet, but man, favorable price action after hours across this Mag 7 market. Yeah, then Tesla up 3.5%. Man, gotta wonder, all of a sudden, that's a bullish engulfing candle up against 260. It's up, trading above its key level right now. Reversal from September, reversal from December 2023. It's been a reversal in 2021, April 2021, May 2022. It's very real level, 260. Up against it, closed at it. That's a big deal, man. And here's your supply line. You have a big supply line back from mid-December. That is a big. You just have all these resistances though. So yeah, you wonder, is this a bottoming structure now? Doesn't really look like a conventional one, but man, they are not letting this thing go lower. They're just not, and I can't believe it. Right? It's just like a low, the same low, and now all of a sudden a higher low, but it's coming off of the lowest high of the downtrend. So momentum could be shifting now due to this new data piece. Oh man,
If you're a new viewer here for the Bitcoin rally, stick around, subscribe, and learn from one of the best technical analysts on the internet.
Oh wow, thanks so much, Atticus, for the $10 contribution. Thanks for the 730 people tuned in. Let's get to 300 likes. I don't know if anyone new is gonna be watching, man. You know, it's probably just the same folks that respect the T already. We got less than a minute though till Bitcoin's daily candle close. All of crypto closes. Let's go to it. Logo on the 8s. There it is. Wow, 43 seconds. Let's just stick around and bask in the glory of the green candles. Atticus, thanks for the first contribution of the stream. And I would imagine the last. Thank you, dude. So Robbie, Stacy, Paris, you're new to the TA. Liar. Bitcoin wants 94K or wants to bust it so bad. I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it? It's above 94K right now. 3, 2, 1, and there it is, chat. I don't know how my Jesus chimes do. Imagine Jesus chimes. That was the highest daily candle close confirmed on Bitcoin since March 2nd. Closed at the highs of the day. We've had 6 days in a row where traders are settling up higher on the close than they did the day before. 6 in a row. Started April 19th, 20th, 20, when is this? 22nd now? What? I'm sorry, what? My ticker, my crosshair is being really weird. It's the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, now the 24th in a row, all green. So you'd imagine a red candle coming at some point, playing the numbers game, right? Eventually you stop painting consecutive green or red candles. But yeah, like this one, where was it? It was crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was a point where Bitcoin made, oh yeah, it was back here, wasn't it? It was like, maybe I'm crazy. No, there was at some point, maybe it was Ethereum, where there were just like so many consecutive candles in a row that were red. I remember. Oh, was it right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. And very rarely does Bitcoin do 6 red candles in a row just before the all-time high breakout. Crazy. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool. Strong candle, but indecision candle would have probably been better, but eh. But again, man, the 4-hour confirmation low. No, Sadu, I don't only read when there's a dono. Not even one text before dono? What are you talking about, dude? I've been saying hi to chat.
Thanks for the TA. Keep up the good work, Mitch.
Carl, thanks so much, dude.
All 33 needs a clean up. You get that, boss. I'm respecting the TA.
What is that? I'm sorry.
32.33 repeating, of course.
Thank you. No, it doesn't mean anything really. You've just had 6 consecutive candles, so a red candle at some point would, just again, it doesn't. You're probably not. Are you going to make 7 green candles in a row? You very well could, man. It's just, yeah. There's no way of telling. There's no edge. There's no way to know if it's going to be 7 green candles in a row. But man, that was just a nice close. It was really strong. I mean, I just love the fact that. Gosh dang, man, how perfect that is. That's lovely stuff. I mean, it's like you just know how real it is. Resistance, support, 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 support. I mean, support even, support, then resistance. You just know it's undeniable existence of a level. So you're watching what buyers have done, recaptured, reconfirmed it. 48 hours. But cool to see 6 in a row. So yeah, I mean, looked at like the Mag 7. I don't think we looked at Apple. We'll look at Apple real quick, and then we'll have the 7 done. Apple, nice green candle, highest daily candle close, if you can believe it, since April 2nd. Maybe they're putting in the higher low. You have 2 unfilled gaps below you now, and now, but you have another unfilled gap above you at 224. You have overhead resistance, not much in the way until 216 to 220. So. Probably got some sort of supply line here that you are up against. There it is. Pretty much closed at it today. All right. Hard picking bottoms. Really, especially with price action like we are getting, we are receiving. What's up, Immigrant Son, man? Thanks for the 886. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Crypto Hoarder. You're right, man. Black, I don't know if I have it here. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you can't make up how perfect this is. It's a dream. I mean, this is a specimen setup, just like we saw on ACHR, countless assets over the years. Black, Lithium Americas Corporation. Yeah, it was up 7.25% on the close. It was the highest daily candle close since late March. Closed still below the 200-day moving average, very close. But dude, forget it. Forget about 7%. Dude, you got to think about structures like this, if they play out where in the context of where this is developed, okay? You don't worry about, oh, it's 7% today. Talk about 29% upside. How about 73% upside? How about 127% upside? These are target areas if this is going to succeed. Okay, what makes this such a powerful harmonic framework setup is the 262 level. What's 262? Oh, 2014, 2015, 2016. It was resistance. But look here. In 2020, buyers recaptured level, tested it once, but then they recaptured, reconfirmed it as support, and that is where Lithium Americas Corporation ran to an eventual highest, 25.67. Was that all-time highs? Yeah, it eventually ran off a springback test. Remember, recapturing 262. This manifested into an all-time high run. Just think about it. What did it do when it springback tested? Oh, it just happened to, on the first run before a pretty big or a major correction, it went up 589%. XRP guys would love that. But then eventually, from that springback test, it turned into being up 900% at the highs. So that's cool. It's a springback test. Someone will be like, coupled handle, man? Maybe coupled handle. Jagged coupled handle, man. Jagged cup. I wouldn't say it, but I'm just saying right here, you kidding me? All right, these harmonics, if identified properly, are the most reliable structures that exist on any market. They just are. But man, if you throw in the context, they tested this level once and now twice, and even did, if you can believe it, right here, you can see it clear as day. They recaptured and even reconfirmed it perfectly April 16th, 17th, or I'm sorry, 17th, 21st, 22nd. Started finally separating on the 23rd. So like, you setting your stops probably below 250 somewhere. I mean, that's pretty tight. 250-ish, 247, but 382. I mean, it's like you're risking a little bit to potentially win a ridiculous amount of money. So I say this could be the chart of the year. Could be the chart of the year on LAC. And I don't know why exactly, but it's doing the thing. Okay. So dude, you've been following for several months? What happened? I'm confused. Can we start over? Yeah, dude. Hello, traders. Welcome to stream. Blah, 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 blah. Ren, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube. Welcome. Be sure to join the Discord if you haven't, so you get notified when I go live next. But dude, this is like, we're in the space-time continuum right now. If you're watching this stream and you're looking at this chart, if this plays out, it'll be maybe 3 months from now, 2-3 months from now, you'll be like, oh my God, it was perfect. And like, you know, we're looking at the index funds and they're all over the place. Oh, they're trying to put it in a higher low, but there are unfilled gaps below it, but there are unfilled gaps above it. Dude, you are at a crapshoot. You're still at the casino. I don't care. Like, you're still at the casino on these index funds, right? Hey, I'm an investor, bro. I'm just buying randomly. Congratulations on winning short term on your bids. Well, you don't really have an edge. Here, there's an edge. This is implying 100+% upside eventually. So to not own it, I don't know, man. This is it. This is when you take shots via technicals on significant time scales. Just think about it, man. The size of the structure, 230 days large. This is it.
Therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. Romans 8:1 Ray, falling wedge bottom on ApeCoin, monthly.
Oh, thank you so much, Lena. ApeCoin? Oh man, blasphemous. Having scripture and ApeCoin in the same paragraph. What you doing, dude? Just kidding, but seriously, what? Thank you. Ain't nothing wrong about ApeCoin. We'll look at it. Don't think that was the only request. Yeah, that would be ApeCoin. Dude, I can't stop looking at LAC. It's beautiful. I can't stop, man. I don't even want to leave this chart. Like, this should be put up in a museum if this plays out. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, find me a chart worthy of Mordor more than this one. Please, go scan through thousands of charts and come back to me with something that a 230-day large harmonic completed locally with a form of confirmation at a historical inflection point, where the last time we had favorable price action correlation to that level, it went up almost 900% when it was all said and done. Okay, go find me something that is this perfect. You can't. I don't think you can. If you do, I will show you a surprised man, and then I'll probably go long on it too. Okay. So ApeCoin, dude. I haven't looked at Ape in a minute. Oh, shoot, man. Type 2 on the weekly, monthly. Yeah, maybe.
For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. Romans 8:2.
Lena, thank you so much. I'm in the chat. I'm in the chat for Jesus. Oh. Wow, that sounds like Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. Sounds like Trump coin holders or creators or all S-coin holders. They feel free from the law because it's now legal. Well, what's cool about ApeCoin, I mean, yeah, like type 1 reaction, type 2 return, possibly. The issue with it, oh, well, dang, man, continuing to diverge on the RSI on the weekly is pretty cool. You made your lower low, slightly lower low with higher levels of RSI. You just did. You are above. You are out of the bearish control zone by like a point, which is cool. Dig into the charts. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to dig. People are scared about Bitcoin because, okay, it's down $300 on the new day. It happens, man. We just talked about 6 days in a row higher closes than the previous day. So weekly, okay. It wouldn't be a strategic back test of key levels from history. It wouldn't be a lack. It wouldn't be a lack. But he said, look at the monthly. Well, the histogram, I don't think there's any more data than this. I think this ApeCoin was literally made March 2022. And that was created. I don't see anything too great about it, but maybe it's 1, 2, 3 here. I mean, it could be argued a little bit of exhaustion due to the disparity from the first swing low to the second. That's a major drawdown, and then from the second to the third, much less of a drawdown. And that's normally when you start identifying exhaustion. The weekly is starting to imply, or it's continuing to imply, that sellers are exhausted with that RSI divergence on the third valley here. So, yeah, you don't really have any help on the oscillators in the monthly, and you don't really have much help on the price. But I'll tell you this, one thing that's interesting, that swing low back from August 1st, okay, it's now real. They have recaptured that. So if you are an ApeCoin enthusiast, I think to protect yourself, you would probably not want to own this asset back below 47, let's just say 48 cents. I think that's probably your line in the sand. You cut off, not really great below that, but your argument for upside, there's a lot of upside, straight up, down, right? Straight up, $1 again. If they're recapturing it and they hold it, maybe they hold it like this month, 6 days to go till the monthly close. Maybe they back test 48 cents as support next month. That would be incredible. Anyway, it's not so much about the monthly as it would be the weekly, where you just got sellers look tired a little bit, but it's just more about like the big ol' identified bullish butterfly with a type 1 reaction on the weekly, and now the type 2 return. It's very possible. This is a mega size structure, dude. 900 days, really. 889 days of development of this butterfly, type 1, type 2. And the type 2's got the divergence. I mean, you do have like someone could come here and articulate an argument via technicals where you're on the lower risk side of things for good upside potential. You just do. I don't make the rules. Again, below 47.5 cents or whatever, your argument starts deteriorating. But for now, above that level, you're okay. Kind of, yeah. Sadhu, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, man, if you don't want to follow or subscribe to my channel anymore, I get it, dude. But hey, you know what wasn't? I didn't do anything wrong. I don't deserve to lose your subscription, at least in my opinion, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm talking to you. Continued divergence. Pretty cool. Slightly lower low. Maybe that's the exhaustion. There could be a lot. Slightly lower low, double bottom could end up being crazy upside. It just all depends on this, on Bitcoin. I mean, if we're seeing 99.3, you could see these altcoins run hardcore. They could still fail because scam coins, but I know it's an S coin. But hey, someone paid me $25 to look at this S coin, so here we are. What do you want me to not put in max effort? For someone contributing to a 100% crowdsourced stream? Really? Yeah, back to Bitcoin. This freaking weekly, man, it's just gorgeous. I love the engulfing candle, the fall through, now the freaking pump. It was all a bad dream, that March 3rd weekly candle drawdown, 14.39%. It was all a bad dream because we're back to where it opened. Gotta admire that. But man, it's just, can it sustain though? Can this sustain? Great question. Looking at your daily again. Yep. After your highest daily candle close since March 2nd. Yeah, on the new day, Asia is waking up and the markets are opening, and it's a little pullback. Dude, this thing's swinging hundreds of points every minute or two. Like, I swear I'll be on one side of my, of where I live, and then it's at, 98.36, and then I walk into my living room, and then, oh my God, it's at 98.33 within 60 seconds. Or like 2 minutes. I'm like, and then it's back up. Walk other side of my place, and we're back to 93.6. It's extremely volatile. Yeah. So we've been live now for how long? Yeah, 1 hour and 11-minute live stream uptime. If you're enjoying it, hit the like button, the bell. So thanks so much for being here. Oh, it's just so much nicer, man. Nighttime streams. I just wish, the nighttime streams, I could have them normally, but the sun stays out till freaking like 8+ o'clock, and it's just gonna get, the days are gonna get longer and longer for a while. So yeah, and this is really kind of historically the most dead time for crypto, between 8 o'clock to 2 a.m. It's the most inactive time for crypto from my experience of being a participant for 8 years plus now in this market. I don't know, man. Year one was crazy when Binance and CZ and all, it was like your new beginning of actual altcoins, the ICO era. Asia actually was going nuts. In their morning session, which is like around now. But after that, after the ICO boom and bust, we never really saw much activity again at this time zone, or this time point, until 2 a.m. London session opens. Pre-market 4 a.m. Eastern starts. Okay, but yeah, weird. Dead chat, Wayne. Yep, pretty much. Can do Litecoin, whatever, sure. There's no edge on it, man. Like it hit the exit of that short setup back from early March. Exit, and then it's like, no wonder, right? Like, of course people would exit their short here, which would be their covering, which means they're buying back their, they're buying back their coins, which would cause a rally here. But it was Trump tweeted and saved the entire world markets. Okay, he just did, and that bullish engulfing candle on all cryptos was real and did not get invalidated. And as Litecoin had its highest daily candle close just moments ago since April 4th, maybe even April or March 30th. They recaptured $84 on the close. They engulfed the previous candle. That's nice. There could be a lot of upside above $84. That is a massive level. Like, it is a wormhole almost to 105. Right, it's 66, 84, 105, 109. There's zones. Then you got 40. You have all these historical levels. And that's how we target. That is how we target. So I don't think there's really a structure here that's great. But hey, you don't have to have an edge for an asset to rally. You don't have to. Just because there's not an edge on an asset doesn't mean I'm saying it's going down next. Right, but it's really tough, trying to articulate to newer people every day, like what I try to do. And we are in the casino. Anytime you're looking at charts, financial markets, you're in the effing casino. Okay, 90% plus of the games in the casino are giving the house the edge. They have a greater probability of winning every time you pull a lever, roll the dice, spin a wheel, okay, roll a ball, whatever you want to say. They have a slight edge. You're not looking to play those games because you're going to lose if you play the numbers game. You're trying to go, you're in the financial casino, you're trying to go to the poker table. You're playing against other people. Yeah, the house takes a rake, but you're not playing against them, and you get to dictate and determine via each hand. If you want to play it, you can fold every single hand. You can fold if you have a decent hand, but you're out of position. Right? The trend's not good. You can make all these analogies for poker and these markets. And what is lack? Lack would be what you consider pocket aces. You have the best hand and you're on the button right here. But then you go to like something like just randomly, right? And 95+% of the time, you're going to go to a chart. It's going to be randomly somewhere. It's probably not going to be confirming a bottom with the structure. You have to scan for a long time to find assets, okay? But you go to something like, I don't know, Casio, whatever. There's nothing like, yeah, it's just lower highs, lower lows. They finally stopped putting in lower lows. There's not really something here that gives you a discernible edge, implying what the outcome is going to be next, greater than 50%, right? So you're below key levels. You've just barely back tested key levels as resistance. You had a big drawdown, markets recovered. You're still below it. Oh, look, earnings on deck. Earnings going to be reported in May, it seems like. May 13th? Why is it so close? So, I mean, you're below resistance. You're not at a key inflection point from history. You might be confirming a bottom, but it's random. It's not a good level. So you're probably 50% here. You're flipping your coin. You don't want to be buying assets with a 50% chance of up next or down next. You want like 60, 65% chance. Oh, well, that's not that great. It actually is if you're playing the numbers game and you're managing your risk and you have proper position sizing, your portfolio, your positions. So any given chart, there's probably not an edge. I don't know, lows, looking at random charts. Hey, great, you're hitting a support here. But do you really have a good edge? I mean, there is some divergence here.
Hi,
Shoot.
Can you look into Mercedes-Benz?
Dang, man, actually lows. Lows is like sellers are exhausted. They tested a key level, and there was so much demand the sellers couldn't even break it. I mean, this kind of classic distribution. You kind of had an edge on lows. On the third peak and falling below 255, And then a bearish back test February 14th. I mean, your downside probability was higher than 50%, I think, at that point. And it rolled over and hit the next support. So, I'm just trying to make the point. You look at a random chart, and most likely is not going to have an edge. Nike, no edge, right? No local confirmation lows, no divergence, gap down, just chopping around. Lowest lows we've seen in, 8 years plus, whatever. No edge. So what are you doing? If you're trying to long Nike right now, you just walked in the financial casino and you're pulling the lever of the Nike slot machine. Well, I'm going to the LAC poker room and I'm going to wait, and I have pocket aces. So anyway, trying to articulate to someone who's newer, maybe, that what I'm doing here has nothing to do with making calls or fortune telling or trying to act like I know where an asset's going next. I don't know if this is going to play out. I just know that these patterns have been researched and studied for 100 years. We're nearing 100 years. I mean, my God, 1920s. And the conclusion of the research of these patterns is that they're identified properly in the right context. They have 70% upside, 70% chance reliability. Spring back test to boot pretty much, I think, increases your probability. You probably 75% chance here. This thing plays out and at least goes to 382. That's crazy. You don't get those opportunities often. They're very rare. You know that if you've been here long enough. And it takes a lot of time and effort to scan through a lot of charts to find these. Just like in poker, you have to fold a crap load of hands before you get ace queen suited, ace king suited, GTO, right? Pocket aces, king, queens. Anyway. So what was that? Mercedes-Benz Emiliano. Yep, silver breaking out. Silver doing things. It already broke out and back tested the level, actually. So Batson.
Wayne Batson tipped $25. Can we look at Coinverge?
XVG. Oh my God, Verge coin. We're on the verge of Virgin. Yeah, we'll look at it, dude. Emiliano, there's like a minimum. Kind of would let it slide if it was 20. But it's just the way it is, right? Like Emiliano, how many ads have you watched or will you ever watch if you're viewing my stream? The answer is pretty much 0. I can't help if the stream VOD gets over 10,000 views. They will monetize it to pay the copyright people. I'm playing copyright music, so they're going to pay those people with that ad money. But it's under 10,000 views, then no ads. So anyway, what was it? Verge. I haven't been here in so long. It's not on any of my watch lists. Thank you, Emiliano.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. You only had to do 15 right there. Thank you, dude. 25. Bank it. Thank you, dude. Well, holy crap. I would say they keep putting more than before. Look at this drawdown. I mean, you're like, it's like an M shape. It's like an M shape. It's not like an M shape. It like literally is an M shape. I mean, 100%, like 886 here, and they just kept it drawn down pretty much. But pretty much not invalid. You hopped. So what is that? A Gartley. 886 Gartley. Yeah, I mean, you keep making lower lows. Wow, it's not even diverging. That was so bad. Yeah, there wasn't, I mean, one thing you do is be like, you see it, it's almost like Class C divergence where you had this big negative histogram, but these two lows are so low compared to this one. Yeah, Verge is definitely at a bottom. I mean, think about what it did from its top here. This was December, early December of just last year. Verge lost 83% of its value in 120 days at this point. So I wonder if like 3-day it could be better. No edge on the 3-day, nope. But it's all about this 5.4 tenths of 1 cent level, I guess. Yeah, 2022. Yep, swing low, March 2024. Yeah, they're up against a big resistance here. So, yeah, sellers, look, dude, this is like 95% of all the cryptos right now. They've made their lowest low of the downtrend most recently. That's the most recent event on the chart. But it's like the third valley, and it's just skating along. The low, the lower low, the lower high, the lowest high, the lowest low. But it's all kind of like, you know, hey, it's at supports. Buyers defending it here. But now it's at resistance after a couple weeks. Good price action. M-shape's completed. You could very well go on a big run above 5.4 cents. So could run it all the way up to probably almost 1 cent. Yeah, so a lot of the altcoins look just like Verge, man. They're virgin. You see the lower high, the lower lows, lowest low, lowest high possibly. You know, the market rolls over, then all of a sudden the lowest high, and then you roll lowest low. I mean, you're downtrending still, so it's not the greatest. But it's okay. Like, I'll just tell you this, it's extremely high risk for a short seller. Like, you're either, I mean, I don't even know if it's strong enough to be long, right? But definitely it's kind of stupid to be short here. We talked about the correction, 83% losses in 100 days, 120 days, because you could get squeezed so hard if it breaks this 5.4 cent level. Okay, Mercedes, bet, MBG, German markets I'll probably do Mercedes is German, so, or DCY, that's the futures. I guess I've never been here in my life. Ooh, let's go to the weekly here on Mercedes. Wow, it's like a freaking heart rate monitor, isn't it? I guess go to the, oops, that's not the weekly, that's 3 day. Let's go to the weekly. All-time high 1998. Dead cat bounce 1999. You see this? Hey, great textbook dead cat bounce. You crashed. 50 to 60% retrace, and then you continued down. Right? And also you had a smaller dead cat bounce here. This high to low, 50% retrace, crashed. Man, just notice the same high really. You see the sell-off. Then you get a lower high. You get that big red candle. It's like, man, that's distribution. These two highs pretty much lower than this high. Wow. Good bearish price action. Way back. Tripping through time. All right, so you pretty much got it's a range. It's like a mega all-time range.
Would you look at Kekius Maximus on Ethmile or Dendi Savoir? Kek.
Mr. Nebs, thanks, dude. Kekius Maximus on it there. You got like a exchange or ticker? That'd be great. Thank you, dude. Give me some more info while I'm looking at this. But we will. So the issue is, like, risk management wise, it's kind of impossible because, like, aren't you trying to long at bottoms of ranges, go short at top of ranges? Yes. Well, you're in the middle. So risk management's really tough here. It's kind of, they triple topped it. What I don't like is this most recent piece of data right there. I mean, falling short of the 200-week simple moving average, such a lack of demand, the participants couldn't even test that 200 as resistance, right? It's a lower high. Now you have a lower low than the previous low and the lower high. Or it's the same high, right? Testing that 2015 high and then 1998, 99 high. So I guess locally we could look at it like probably this level back from 2021, support for sure. What it looks like they're doing is they're going for a test of $56 on Mercedes-Benz, and if this is real, you triple topped out, lower high, they come and they test it, and then we roll over. So the trend looks like it's trying to reverse to the downside. What a run though, from 2020 to 2022. That was crazy. And then nothing. Then okay, like 2 years of what a rally off the lows, and then 800 plus days of buyers attempting to take this thing to new heights, and they failed. They couldn't do it. They, in fact, 3 different times they tried to test that 1999 high, that 2015 high, and they failed 1, 2, 3 times. Now the buyers relented, the sellers took over, and now you're making a lower high, right? The buyers came in to defend $56, and it was a very short-lived rally, wasn't it? So, not great. Death cross, weekly death cross on Mercedes-Benz in early November. Trading, oh my God, dude. Bearish fanning on the moving averages below the 50 and the 200. Probably below the 20 as well. Yep, below all 3 moving averages. Gross. Yeah, I just, $56, let's see what happens at it, okay? Sir, not great. There could be a lot of downside if it's the trend's reversed. Lots of downside. $21 to $25 would be like a golden opportunity. Because think about what would happen. Your really nice M shape ideas start coming together. Oh, look at that. An 886 predictable pattern. Getting down there, that would be a dream. Okay, I'd like to buy. If I could get value, it'd be $25 eventually. All right. So Crypto Bravo, man.
Crypto Bravo tipped $25. Tashi on CoinX. Thanks, Mitch. Good times.
Good times, man. I'm telling you, anything above 91,560 to 93K is incredible. Roaring 20s. Bring out the champagne situation. Okay, and to back test it on the 4 hour twice is making me happy. Okay, I am happy. I'm telling you, my life's way better when Bitcoin's above 91,560. Okay. So what was the ticker came in? Let's see, Kekis. All right, Kekis. First time ever seeing Kekis. Maximus on crypto. There's a lot of mechs. Till we got good data. Oh, no, never mind. This is a weekly, so it's pretty new, right? This is the Elon. Wow. Kid me, dude. Actually good. Lately, locally. Okay. So established support 9.4 tenths of 1 cent. So much demand, the sellers can't test that level anymore. And again. So you're showing accumulation. I mean, you can almost say classic accumulation structure. Third valley, you get it? 1, 2, maybe 3. But I've seen it where this plays out and it's unbelievable and it goes crazy. It'll probably go to 7.9 cent target or it crashes and fails. So you do have a really nice accumulation structure on Kekis Maximus. Don't blame me. Don't get mad at me. It's not my fault that it's actually just doing this, okay? If it resolves, I mean, if we know we are identifying more market participants or one guy with more than before. We just are. If it resolves with a markup, I don't think you have any target until 7.9 cents. And that target equals Kekis Maximus, 160% upside. I don't know how or why, but it is. And I'm just looking at the chart, the technicals, okay? And really, you won't believe it. You will not believe it. You're going to be like, shut up, Ray. That's just stupid. There's hidden bullish divergence here. Literally on this little valley we put in. On both oscillators, to be real, like here's a low on price. Here's a slightly higher low on price with higher or lower levels on the RSI. It is implied a continuation to the upside. So you kind of have a slight edge here on Kekis Maximus. All Elon has to do is tweet another Kekis Maximus, relevant message, and it might do it. That might be it. I don't know why some of these look good sometimes. They just do. Like, why does LAC look good? Well, we'll find out when the composite operator starts calling CNBC and the lithium magnates. Like, we're going to find out why LAC looks the way it does. Like, poised for 100% upside. Same thing with this one. Unreal. Can't believe it. Hype in the chat. Okay, pinging everyone on Kekis Maximus. Wow. Keki. No, it's just Kekis. Kekius. Oh, it's Kekius. Kekius Maximus. Sorry. Get an update here. Pepperoni Jabroni, thank you so much for the 25. Do you have a request, man? Or are you just happy to be here? Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. Toshi Coin, I think, was next. Let's check it out. Yeah. Mr. Nebs, can you believe it, dude? Can you believe Kekius? It's not our job to believe it, okay? It's our job to just identify the structures, the oscillators, and if the TA is respected, you're about to have a major markup. You want a measured move? Low point to the confirmation line. Okay, if you have 3 rising valleys, you measure from the first valley's low all the way to the confirmation line, which will be the second peak. Okay, you have 3 valleys and 2 peaks, always on a 3 rising valleys pattern. That would be this right here. That March 20th peak gives you the second peak. First peak, second peak. All right. So the breakout, you have not broken that confirmation line yet. You tried, you failed. Okay, but at least the indicators are implying that you're about to break it again. If they do break it, a 100% measured move just of the 3 rising valleys pattern would be 5.8 cents. So you can have 2 targets here on Kekis Maximus, 5.8 and 7.9. There you go. All right, to be more precise, just a Bulkowski pattern. Bitcoin's 93,940. People were scared. Y'all were panicking. Oh my God, dude, Bitcoin's at 93.6, and this is all this, like, oh, we do one analysis.
Would you kindly look at link?
300 points. What was that? Oh, yeah, Pepperoni Jabroni. Thank you so much, dude. We certainly will look at Link. Has been having a good run too. Max bearish. It was max uncertain. That's what it actually was. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's impossible for me to win as a live streamer of financial markets if you don't truly understand what I'm trying to do. I'm just looking for structures to develop that gives me an edge so we can have optimum trading plans, optimum risk management strategies. That's it. Without that, I have no idea where the asset's going. Chips and salsa. You understand? They're tweeting every other day. News events are driving the markets 2% up or down, gap up, gap down. That is a casino. I'm telling you, there's no max bearish, max bullish. And Chips and Salsa, where were you? Why are you not in here being like, bro, that bearish deep crab was unbelievable. It was identified perfectly. Every day I was watching the stream. The bearish deep crab, where Scott Carney, the only one in the world, him and me, the only one in the world, covering the bearish deep crab in slow motion, developing before any of this happened. And so you're just trying to be like, who in the world can predict any of this crap? This is casino, 50% joke. What do you expect from a streamer or anyone on financial markets? No one knows. We're going through an actual lifetime transition in the monetary order right now. What do you think your chances are of knowing the ins and outs of what's going to happen every single day? It is gap up, gap down every day just about. Trump tweet, Trump tweet, Trump tweet, gap up, gap down every day. So I don't know what you're talking about. When there were structures, the TA respected godlike, better than we could have ever dreamed of. We didn't know it was going to prophesize a crash. We just thought, oh, pull back. Yeah, patterns pull back. People are crazy, man. Like, what is your expectation from anyone in this world with market conditions like this? The VIX hit 65, bro. Bitcoin was 600 points from a target area off of Wyckoff distribution. That's almost perfect. Perfect. People are crazy, man. I don't even know, like, what world you live in. Bro, You need to tell me what's going to happen tomorrow, or you were so bearish, you were so bullish. I mean, you're better off probably watching someone else if that's like how you're going to act. No thanks when this pattern's slow motion identified, right? No remarks, no comments, no praise, no nothing. But then you're going to come in after that crazy drawdown when we're gapping up and down 2 to 5% every day and saying stuff like that. You're not a friend of mine, obviously. You don't really understand what's going on. I can't articulate to you and make you understand. So you better just start go watching some fundamental people. Okay, they'll probably be better for you. Good Lord, man. It's crazy. Toshi coin? Coinbase? I don't know what chart, man. Did you say an exchange? On CoinX. Okay. Thank you for giving me a CoinX. CoinX. Oh, nice. Lots of data here. Wow. Well, deep retrace.
Yesy Caveat super chatted $50.
Bro, Yesy, thanks so much for the largest contribution of the live stream. Thank you so much, dude. Holy crap. I'm in chat for Yesy. Thank you, dude. Rush Breeze, what's up, dude? Coming in from the Golden Coast. Don't get turned to stone by Basculus or whatever. Isn't that? I'm not sure if I'm getting my geographics right. Well, your issue here with Toshi coin is like you didn't really hit a major support from history, you know? You're kind of just like bottoming out. I guess you could, there's another level there, but hey, you wonder, is this a higher low here? It was the highest daily candle close since March 15th, which is really nice. You're back above the 200-day moving average. You had a supply line that broke. I mean, dude, you're trying to, you know, hey, will you look at this joke coin, scam coin, like it broke a supply line, I guess, then just continued selling off. It's not much structure here, but maybe locally it's okay. What I'm going to do is talk about the levels here. Right, I guess 4.2 1/100ths of a penny. Yeah, 4.2 1/100ths of a penny is your big breakout point. Like it's almost like XRP a little bit. If you can break that, if buyers can capture prices on Toshi coin above 4 1/100ths of a penny, 5.8 1/100ths of a penny would be your target. So your upside potential, if they were able to break that level, would be 35, 36%. That's it. Yes, did you have a request or something? Okay, sorry, just checking something. So yeah, I mean, that's it. You're on big breakout watch. They've tested this level April 12th, 11th, and yesterday. So structurally, it's not great, but it is cool to see, like, maybe, you know, you use your imagination. It's a really scuffed, I wouldn't call it cup with handle, just kind of like rounded out. And then here it's like cup with Hendelman, maybe. You got your target if it breaks out. I don't know how do you manage your risk here. It's a lot tougher. You set your stop at 2.9 1/100ths of a penny. You have to lose 27% of your value, so you're way off of maybe a place to manage risk, a local low put in. But yeah, I would really liked it to be at one of these lows down here, but too much demand. It is cool. Well, it's maybe not even an 886. It's probably deeper because of that scam wick. Yeah, dude, but if you use the candle close, it's perfect, right? From the low to the high, excluding the crazy psycho scam wicks where traders settled up, which is more important, you did hit an 88% retrace. So you're kind of around the same level as a lot of altcoins, 886s, 100% retraces. All that means is like Extremely high risk to go short. Stupid. Like almost asking to lose money short term on a short. But hey, it's a scam coin, no intrinsic value, and may not rally here too. So, but yeah. Okay, Toshi coin. Yes, he said, nope, this is just a friendly payback for all the good years you have put in. I still owe you. Keep doing what you're doing. Wow, yes, thanks so much. See what I'm saying? Like, people come in and they say stuff like that. When it's like, I mean, come on, man. Last year was like, how many trade setups were identified in this community, were posted, were talked about on stream, and played out? Yeah, a few failed. That's what happens. It's a numbers game. Yeah, your pocket ace is going to get cracked. Your ace king will lose in poker sometimes. But for the most part, it was a brilliant 2-year period of wonderful trade setups. Wonderful bottoming structures that took time to develop. They were identified. They played out. They hit targets. They exceeded targets. And then we get, oh wow, well, you know, the VIX hit 65 and the market crashed, and it was preceded by a harmonic reversal pattern. And that wasn't good enough for people. It's almost like you got to be able to some of these effing entitled people, they got to know what's going to happen literally tomorrow. Are we going to gap up or gap down? And if you don't tell them, they're going to come in and be like, bro, you were so bullish, you were so bearish yesterday. It's like, you're out of your effing mind. You don't even know what's going on. You just need to go do something else, man. If you can't, I'm trying the best I can to articulate what I effing do here. And if you can't get it at this point, you just should stop watching and go watch someone else with, they got flashy things and they got all kinds of people, right? Live streaming is the most saturated thing in the world. Okay. At this point, everyone live streams now. So how can you come in here? Why don't you watch someone else and see if they do it better? They probably do. So go watch them. So that was like the last request. Oh, Chainlink for Pepperoni Jabroni. Link, yeah, had a nice rally. See what's going on though? Like, hit the oversold threshold almost. Kind of just, the sellers got exhausted. They broke a key support and they recaptured it. And there wasn't really much here. It's kind of like Ethereum. There just wasn't much going on. You're in a downtrend still. You're not making a higher high yet. Even if you break 1567, this is why it's not a great one, because it's just like Ethereum, where you might run, your upside potential is like 16% to test the supply line that goes back to December and January. Okay, well, either way, people got to hear it because it's not the only person. Like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know, man. You got people out there like committing fraud and like doing some really nefarious things on the internet. They're using their audience to rug pull them, taking money from like nefarious entities to promote scams to their audience. So many people doing that. And then people got a problem with what I do. And it's like, you're the problem. Okay. I've never done anything to hurt anybody. I'm just here every day for over 7 years, 100% crowdsourced. You can't do that if you're teaching the wrong message. Okay, so people in here understand what I'm trying to do. And the other people that come in, they're like hateful, talking crap, trolling, whatever. Like, those people are the issues with this world. Okay. All right, so Chainlink, I mean, it's cool. It's had some really good days, man. Really good days. But it's like the silver chart. There's so many resistances. It's like, which resistance? There aren't many like this, to be real. Or major reversal, almost everywhere. That's why it's just not a great chart. We could get rid of all the inflection points from history, potential reversal areas. This is like one of my least favorite cryptos because of just the amount of levels it could potentially reverse at. But then you look and you see, oh, hey, man, it could just be like an M shape that hit 100% retrace, or you anchor here and it's an 88% retrace. So you have an M shape that's beginning to react off exhaustion, not due to momentum shifting or accumulation at all. It is just sellers are effing tired, boss. And you can see some divergence here. And it's just catching a reaction, but it's still a lower high. That's what makes it just not that great yet. You would really want to see, you craps out, whatever, higher, come down and do something like this. That would give you a stronger argument for a more pronounced rally to the upside. What's up, Andrew, too? Thank you, dude. The super sticker. I really appreciate the kind words in the chat. For real, dude. Very, very kind words. Yeah, dude, you're not gonna go to a streamer's stream. You're not gonna find an ACHR. Okay, you're not gonna find this anywhere else. Okay, but this stream. I mean, yeah, Scott Carney. He's identifying harmonics. Right, he's got the software and all that. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just the M-shape type 2. Talking about the divergence and the U-shaped volume profile. It's just like, go find a stream that's doing that's identifying that and trying to teach it to you for free. For effing free. You don't pay a dime in here watching the stream.
Don't worry about the haters, my dude. You're already doing a great job, man.
Carrie, thank you, dude, for the Australian super chat. It's just, man. And this one, it's exhaustion, right? Sellers exhausted. You're catching a rally across the whole markets. The sellers got tired. And you're not making higher highs yet. It's kind of like a dragon.
Thanks for all you do, Mitch. Will LAR react like LAC?
LAR? Oh, Lithium Argentina? Well, it's not as good. It's not as good, but, well, you got something. You got a historical inflection point. Wow. This thing's busted, dude, right? But even though it busted, look at this 195 level as a place where you could construct a trading plan. You could set up a stop loss. Like, hey, this wouldn't be like your strongest one like LAC. This would be almost like LAC, the setup that was posted last year, that hit target like 1 and then crapped out, because we knew it would probably crap out to create an M shape, and it did. And here we are. But maybe go to the weekly. Oh my goodness. Wow. So we inflection zone here. Candle close in the wick. So I'll tell you, man, this is like your lowest risk area. I mean, if they're actually recapturing this level to 192 to 212, good God. Here's your low. Here's your lower low on price, but substantially higher levels on the RSI. This is some class A bullish divergence on the RSI right here. A low, then your slightly lower low locally, and then buyers recapturing this level. The consequences, I mean, minimum, even conservatively speaking, minimum 283, which, doesn't seem like much, but that's 34% upside. And then you could start looking at it like, oh, it's a potential dragon. It's the dragon. Here's the dragon spine, the supply line. Here's your second foot. It's just got this predictable pattern. It's like Bitcoin almost. This is, very, very interesting on LAR. L-A-R. Wow. You kidding me, dude? That's actually actionable for a long. Unreal. I mean, that's a big overhead resistance right there. That's a definite inflection zone. What the heck? We have the swing high, swing low, swing high, swing high, reversal right there. Big chop reversal. I think that's like your big time target. Your big target. I don't want to say big time because that's a thing now. You can't say big time anymore because the freaking S coin. But man, that has a structure. It's a slightly lower low. Sellers are exhausted on an extremely significant time scale. May 14th, so you got a little time before earnings. That's the ticket, maybe. That's kind of the ticket. I would think if LAC does its thing, it's very easy to manage risk. Very, very easy. Let's see here.
Sup Mitch, Kernel token. Only 10 days old and on Coinbase. At a bottom, only up.
What's up, dude? Thanks. Kernel token, scam coin. I don't know. You could be really conservative or you can be not so conservative. You would still, yeah, you could be like that. You could be like, the dragon spine is target 1. If it rolled over to retest later, you could do target 1 and 2 like this. 382, 479. Target 3 could just be, tip top of the zone, 514, and you're out. If it ever broke that level, good God, it goes to 809. You just don't know about that. That could be a fourth target lottery, if you wanted to. But sellers, this would be an exhaustion trade. An exhaustion trade. So let me post this real quick. Not much, if LAC plays out, LAR probably plays out too. I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you, it's all about the technical and that level. And you take on minimal losses if it fails, but you have massive upside if it succeeds. And if it's a slightly lower low, double bottom, then the performance would be amazing. So you're just technical indicators, the recapturing, and then your chart pattern, the dragon / double bottom, potential double bottom. That's it, man. Hype in the chat. One sec. All right. Not as good as LAC, but it's got its own redeeming qualities. And it's a weekly setup, dude. This is it could take a long time to play out, but man, just think about target 1. If it played out, target 1. Oh, just 80% upside, bro. No big deal. Not good enough for me, man. You said this. Okay. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly on Bitcoin. Still real. Man, you get any more upside, man. We get above 60 here. Holy crap, man. That would be wonderful to break 60. Get back in the bullish control zone on the RSI. So one willow.
Daily supply line.
Oh yeah. I mean, at this point, it's done, right? Like, hey, Wyckoff accumulation identified.
Can we take
years
a look
ago.
at JD? I was looking at it for maybe something building up for mid-May. Also, Jonathan Nation, keep it up.
Stray, thanks for 20, dude. Yeah, have a chat. Supply line, you say? We'll look at it. Supply line? Oh, channel supply line or something? Maybe. It's almost like you broke the supply line, right? Right, you like legged up, and the channel uptrend really started here. Look, you recaptured, reconfirmed it, the demand line of support a couple times. Really nice spring back test, and then just 1 and 2 anchor points, 1 and 2, then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6 before reversing, and then 7 actually respected on the flash crash, and now you're breaking it. So actually breaking out of the channel, man. I don't know what you mean supply line. They broke it. It looks like. I mean, that's pretty. I'm trying to anchor it perfectly on 1 and 2 here, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. Those are my 3 touch points for this channel, and I get stupid amounts of crazy respect on both sides, and I get really nice heartline respect too. Look at that support of the heartline. I mean, that's it. You broke it. JD.com, one other thing was in the gutter for a while. And it got out. But then it's like, man, what did it do today? Down 3.25%. Oh, look, JD.com saw its lowest daily candle close since September of last year. You're looking at it for maybe building up for mid-May. Well, you are in an inflection zone. You're at a massive crossroads here. You look, swing high. It's a zone from 2014, 2015. Look, resistance, nice accumulation. The buyers were absorbing the supply that existed there. They finally broke it. They even back tested that support before going nuclear. Then they did it one more time. One more perfect flash crash test before going to all-time highs. So you are at a very, very real level. I don't really see anything good on the oscillator on the daily, but you could be going, hey, anyone could say like, all right, dude, we got ourselves a dragon. If they start reversing it here, sure, but they gapped it down. Why is it down? Tariff hit China exporters reluctant to head government calls to sell locally. Okay, so maybe a dragon, but yeah. Well, below 31.28, hands off. You're at a place where you could start trying to set up stop losses if you wanted, but like you can see, why is it making lower lows now? The gap will fill probably, but yeah, anyway. My groceries are here. I need to go get them. We've been live now for 2 hours officially. All right, so say pretty successful stream today. A lot of assets covered. Silver lining of it all was Bitcoin defending that 92K support 2 days in a row now. And holding up. I mean, and just being real, if it's a real bullish back test, what we've identified, there's just nothing until $99,300. It's like you wonder how can it happen? You just look left and you understand historically that's all that happens. Oh, 92K, 93K support. Do we need to count how many times? It was broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times over 3 months from November to February. If the level of 93K was tested as support, it ran straight to 99.3. So Bitcoin's at 94K. We just went positive on the day. You kidding? Wow, gone positive. Asia is awake. Do they respect this level? Do they respect the confirmation low on the 4-hour chart like we do? Well, they aren't selling really, are they? Highs of the day, chat. Highs of the day. 94,074. We're higher now than we were yesterday, if you can even believe it. 94,142. Just understand, like, these levels. There's just not going to be much supply until 99.3. There's just not. That's why every single time this level was defended successfully, they ran it right back up to 99.3. There's just not much supply here. A lot of supply at 99.3. A lot of support or a lot of demand. A lot of asks at 92K, but they broke it. They back tested it. So you just can't be surprised if history just repeats itself again. $94, $335, $348 at the highs of the day. We're getting closer and closer to making the highest level since freaking February. Just got to wonder what this is going to turn into. 94. Wow, man, that's great. A lot of green. But even still, like, trolls or not, I mean, it's like, you know, if you were watching this stream, like, what was it? Oh, there was a dragon pattern identified. There was bullish divergence identified. Like, there just was. As you were 600 points from the target area. Like, there was an identifiable structure that could be reliable if they broke it. There was seller exhaustion, bullish divergence identified on the stream. It was here every single effing day since it developed. Every day. And then they broke out. It was identified on stream that the supply line was broken. It was identified the next day that it was back tested as support. The whole week, every single day, was live talking about it. And finally, Sunday, last Sunday, they broke it higher. And look at us now. 94,481. We were getting closer and closer to the highest highs we've seen of this bullish dragon breakout. So I don't even know. You're bearish. Like, what are you talking about? Like, not on Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin was just calling it as it was seen. The dragon. The dragon tail is killing it right now. Still monitoring now. I was trying to go to the bathroom and get my groceries from outside. But dang, man. Now we got price action. Bitcoin's up $400 on the new day. You don't do measured moves of dragons. Use Fibonacci. So high to low of the dragon, 618. That's a target. Just a common dragon target's 61% retrace from its highest point to its lowest point, 96,125. But does that really make much sense? Not really. In fact, between the 618 786 is your target area. I think the dragon above 92K is 99.3. But yeah, the golden retrace. Then above that, your deep retrace 886 is 105.5, and that's what? That's a shark. Like, dragon patterns are premature W shapes or M shapes. This in this situation would be a W. So it's like this. This is what your dragon is. Okay. So it starts humble beginnings. The dragon tail oftentimes can grow into a more complex wave structure. The shark. The dragon, it's a dragon shark, right? How many times we identify dragons and they end up running to the 886 over and over and over again? So that's it's a hardcore target. And there you might see reactions, reversals, and it might be over. Put in your lowest high. Both these highs is a lower high than both these highs. Yeah, that's a good profit taking level, possibly. If you got in on the dragon breakout. Okay, well, I'm going to leave y'all to it. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Really appreciate y'all. PS5, Future Gaming. What's a Kive stream? Thank you for the Kive streams.
Friends and family have always asked me how much Bitcoin they should hold, and I always respond with at least one BTC block rewards worth. Crazy how impossible that is now for the average person now.
Is it 32 or is that Ethereum? 32 Bitcoins? I can't remember. Greg P, what was it? Thanks, man. What's the number on that? I need to know. $32 Ethereum, but what about Bitcoin though? Less than 3.25 now? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about that. Yeah, the halvening and all that. Oh, okay, that number. Yeah, that's not 64 to have your own node. Gotcha, Steven. All right, well, it's been fun, chat. Thank y'all so much for coming out. We'll see if Bitcoin can catch some follow through. Let's see if those 4-hour confirmation lows are real. Thanks for everything. Likes, love, contributions, everything else. And until next time, respect the TA.
This is Tenord. Don't worry about the haters, my dude, you're already doing a great job, man.
Thank you.